tonight is no one on outside who's gonna help our souls tonight.
Okay, hey, what's up, you guys? Lupe and Gabby. Say hi to the people, Gabby.
Hello.
Donna's not here today because she's out living her best life with my mom and dad, and she couldn't be bothered to be here today, but we're gonna do it by ourselves anyway. So this week's video is about our recent trip to the Queen Mary. We went, it's called the Paranormal Ship Walk, I think it's called, for sure. We went with my brother, my sisters, and our friend Steven. We went to, I think, like the 9 o'clock tour because we missed the earlier one. It's about $50 or $55 to be part of the tour. And basically what the tour is, it's 2 to 2.5 hours of, it's a guided tour, and they tell you like some history about the boat, and the history of what makes the Queen Mary haunted. The guy told us that it's the number 6 most haunted place in all of America, or the world.
I think it's in the world.
I don't know, but it's supposed to be really haunted. And it was a lot of fun. It is a lot of walking, so be prepared for that. We had a couple weird experiences, and I hope you guys can catch them in the video. While I was recording, or they had like headphones in with like an EVP, so they could hear noises, or a ghost box, I should say, so they could hear some stuff of what was going on. And we weren't able to get that on film, but once we got home and I started editing to make this video is when we started catching some of the stuff that we found. We heard like some banging. We found a whisper that was really, really creepy, and like we had a whole debate on whether or not it was one of us or we actually caught something on film. What else did we get? Well, while I was editing, it was really weird. Like some stuff just wouldn't even take, so I lost a lot of footage because I don't know what happened to it. I tried to process it and it wouldn't. It just wouldn't go through. One of my favorite parts was probably, they took us into this room that's like a new attraction that you can do by itself, and they have a lot of haunted objects from all over the world. They have one from the Stanley Hotel that's in Colorado, so I thought that was really cool. And they also have like a Bible and some pictures from exorcisms that they performed. It was really, really creepy and like disturbing. It just felt disturbing. What about you?
I would say my favorite part was, I think, the first ballroom, because that's when we really like imagined. You will hear about it. I'm pretty sure you filmed it.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure what went through or what didn't, but we went to the they showed us like I said, it's a tour for all over the boat, or the ship, I should say. And they took us into many ballrooms that had like a lot of haunted stories and stuff like that. And we did feel like a presence in the first ballroom, and I believe the story was that like they were carrying war brides to go meet their husbands after the war, and she found out like he had another bride, and she like, did she fall or she died somehow?
She found out that that her husband was with another woman. So I don't know. I'm not sure like who killed who, but I know that they tried to kill each other, and at the end they both died.
And like supposedly in that first ballroom, you can see her in like you see her like dancing and stuff like that, or they have a piano. And sometimes she'll go play the piano. You'll see her wandering around in her white wedding dress. And we felt like a presence. And it was really funny because it's like my brother is in the Air Force. I don't know if ghosts know all of that about us, but I was standing next to him and I felt a presence like behind us, and he felt something too, like in the back of his neck. So that was kind of creepy.
Yeah, and me and my brother actually had my sister's headphones in, so we could listen to the spirit box on his phone, and he would turn it on occasionally, and we weren't like, we couldn't say 100% that it was a word, but we did hear like a female voice in that ballroom. And I think that's when like me and my brother were like, oh, like that's like somebody's here with us. And that's when he started feeling like somebody behind him, and then she was next to him, and like they were like, oh yeah, there's somebody behind my brother. So like that was something that was like, I was like, oh my god, about, because like it was like one of the first places we went. No,
It was like the second place we walked into, and then we actually got to go to water door 13, and we had like a really cool experience with John, the guy who got accidentally trapped there, and there was multiple bangs and stuff like that, like of him just tapping around letting us know that he was there. But yeah, it was all fun. The only thing that I didn't really like was the fact that, for me, I find it kind of ironic if you're on a cruise ship and then you die in the pool. It's just kind of like an ironic death. And there's a little ghost named Jackie who haunts that area. And the Queen Mary is actually going under a lot of reconstruction right now. Our dad actually got to be part of that. He was working on one of the decks. I couldn't tell you which one, but he got to be part of that, this new reconstruction that they're doing of the ship. And he said like there was just like an eerie feeling with him and some of the workers around that pool area, and we were just really excited to see like, oh, if we could go near it, but because of the construction and the remodeling that they're doing, we weren't allowed inside. I mean, you can see through the doors, which is a little bit like of a bummer, you know, but of course safety first. Was there anything for you that like you weren't?
The room that you said that you liked, I didn't like how when we went to like the point of the ship, we had to walk through that one room with the dress.
Oh, okay. So there's a room that's part of like I said, a new attraction. It's like they show you haunted stuff, haunted artifacts and stuff like that. And you have to walk through that room in order to get to like I don't know how to explain it, like the middle part of the boat or like towards the front. And there's a story that one of the Queen Mary basically like ran over one of its guide ships, the Curacao. And well, that's like all the people who were on board the Curacao died. And then when like in the Titanic, when like an accident happens, the water door, like the wider watertight doors, you know, activate. So then the people who were working in that part of the boat were trapped in there with the water, so eventually they drowned to death. And you know, sometimes you can hear banging and the crying and people asking for help and stuff like that. And like there's this like a hallway that you have to get in order to do that, and there's like just a white dress. I don't know if it's the exact same dress from the lady from the ballroom, but it was really creepy. And like it's like the tour guide said, it's a creepy corner for no reason. Like nothing happened there or anything like that, but it's just really dark and creepy, and like it just sucked because it's like you're going from one place that you know is haunted, and then like that in between is supposed to be calming, but it's so dark that once you get to the other side, you're going into more haunted stuff. So it's just like an uncomfortable feeling. But other than that, I think.
And then I feel like it was worse because he didn't, since we always stayed like in the back of the tour, because there's a lot of people on that tour.
Yeah, we got like a tour of 35 people or something like that, and I tried to stay towards the back because I mean they had the ghost box going on, so like I said, like he'll tell you the history, he'll take you to the room, he'll tell you the history and the stuff that happened in that room and why it's haunted, and then he lets you walk around and explore for like 2-3 minutes or something like that, and then you go to the next place. So we were always like in the back, and we would wait till like people would clear out the room, because people tend, like, you know, obviously if you pull something out or like you start filming and all this kind of stuff, people are like, what's going on, or like, you know, they'll be in your footage, or I don't know, sometimes people just don't want to be recorded, and that's okay too. So we just waited for
yeah. And then like I don't know if I'm like that type of antisocial person, but in the first room we went to, like in the very first one, he said, okay, go ahead and go around, because it was like 2 or 3 rooms, right? Like in one place.
Yeah, because it's like the very front of the boat, where like the brain of the ship, like where it's being controlled and everything like that. I think it's like the captain's quarters or something like that. So he has like you know, obviously where you steer the ship and all that kind of stuff. And then in the back you have some rooms for people to sleep in, and they have maps and like a bed and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then I took a picture of the skyline, like from the boat, and like a lady came up to me and she was like, did you take a picture, like did you see anything? And I was like, oh no, I just took a picture of the skyline. But like that to me was like a little bit too pushy, but I get why people are excited for that, and I was too. But I wouldn't go up to a random stranger and be like, oh, did you take a picture or something, can I see it? And like I was like, okay. So like from then on, like we tried to stay in the back.
Yeah, we were like, we were really excited in the first room, so we were like, okay, let's go in. And well, everybody else wanted to go in too, so it was really crowded, and you know, you're trying to take pictures and other people are trying to take pictures at the same time as you are, so you're getting into people's shots or they're getting into yours, and like it just wasn't working out. So we decided like, oh, we're just gonna wait in the back and let everybody go first, and then we'll be the last ones, and then we'll go like onto the next room for like easier access. But yeah, let me know if you guys happen to hear anything other than what I try to point out for you guys in this video. Maybe you guys hear something that we don't. I've gone over this footage a couple of times, and like every single time that I go over it, I hear more and more stuff. So yeah, just let me know what you guys find. So yeah.
Is a light that is proximity between your show. This shelf right here is known as the Titanic shelf. Every item in here is owned by someone who survived the Titanic or related to it.
Junior. What is that?
Spell something.
No,
Next thing I'm gonna get a text. Can we check what words it's on?
Hi. Hi. Chubby, it spelled out hi and then it went away.
Oh, y'all don't know. Watertight door 13. Now, a lot of people think we numbered it this way and that it just happened, or that we put it this way on purpose. However, no, I'm sorry to let you know that QNAR did the numbering for us. This was all just coincidental that it happened to be door 13. In 1966, we were off the coast of Ireland and we hit a very thick patch of fog. And thanks to the Titanic, we learned once you hit very thick fog, shut your watertight doors. That way, if anything did puncture the side of the ship, your flooding would already be contained. Why am I standing like a drunk man? All right, I can't do this. If we take this door right off of the rack, you're looking at about 1,500 pounds all by itself. You add all the mechanics to it, that's an additional 900 pounds of pressure. And this door closes in 1 minute. You could set it shorter or faster depending on your emergency, but your default, you're looking at 1 minute. So in 66, John got caught by this door. And of course, even today, the questions are always, why? One of the more popular beliefs and ideas is that he was playing chicken with this door. How many times can I pass through before it actually shuts? John, if you were at 19, you should not have gone for 20, my friend. Some people laugh, and I usually hear that's kind of dumb. And I could almost agree with you. Now, I spent 6 years in the Navy. 5 of those years were on one ship. And believe me, after about 3 days of listening to, no, don't do this, we're playing chicken with a watertight door. Or tug of war with a speedboat. I'm sorry, I don't have time for that story, though. And I almost won, too. So they shut the watertight doors. John got caught. Chicken was one of the ideas. The second one being the engine room mile. Now, we all came down that nice little elevator shaft in that huge elevator together. The elevator, of course, is newer. The shaft is the original part of the shaft. So he came down those stairs. Once he got to the bottom, he waited for these doors to start moving. The second they started moving, so did he. He took off as fast as he could. I mean, you saw how far that walk is. From the elevator to right here. Inside of a minute, go with God. As he got to this point, the door had to have been around at least a quarter to halfway closed, still closing. So as John kept running through, we believe either something on the deck or the ship was just tossing because of the water. Something happened, but John fell halfway in and halfway out. Of course, he was trying to get up real quick because the door's already right here. So it's coming. Unfortunately, it pinned him in. So they came down to find out why 13 had it shut. They found their buddy standing in the way. They hit the manual release lever, which should be right here, but of course the handrail's in the way. They hit the release lever, they moved the door off of his chest, and unfortunately, that is what killed him. As the door was closing, it cracked his chest, causing him to bleed internally. The pressure of the door continuing to close on his chest helped keep that bleeding at bay, so it kind of was saving his life. When they removed the door off of his chest, unfortunately, the pressure is gone and all that blood started to just flow freely. Unfortunately, John would drown himself in his own blood. Now, as a crew member on board the ship, it is written into your contract, burial at sea if you die out at sea. John was given this honor and award, of course, so he got buried out at sea. Now, a year and a half ago, I learned the hard way. John is still on board the ship. As I'm doing this tour with you guys right now, a year and a half ago, I was learning this tour. The guy who was training me in his civilian clothes, standing amongst you guys, so I wouldn't really see him too much. And boy, was I super nervous because I didn't know any of the stories yet, so I was talking super fast. I was like, hey guys, this is the story about John getting crushed by the door. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay, good, let's go, come on. So if you can imagine, I did 12 rooms in about an hour and 15 minutes. I got down here to the engine room and realized, holy shoot, I got a half hour left. What do I do? Everyone has a cell phone, and answering questions is a very easy task. Paranormal investigations is what came to my mind. So we went ahead and started letting people ask questions. This is why 13-year-old and under are not allowed on my tour anymore. This little girl stepped up. She's like, I got a question for you. Do you know our tour guide? Don't bring me into your paranormal investigation, all right? Look, I tell you their life, their death, and how they mess with us today. That is where the line is drawn. But of course I wasn't going to tell that to this girl. The question went on. 2 minutes later, at 1:37, on 2 separate cell phones, we heard yes. So of course, skeptic me was like, one of you is playing around and I'm going to catch you doing it. Go ahead, keep asking questions, guys. Keep it up. Everyone's kept asking questions. The 5th and final question was, do you want to get off this ship? We didn't have to wait for anyone to play back an answer or record anything. Up those stairs up there, we heard very loudly, yes. And much like right now, nobody else is down here. It's just us. So I was like looking around the group. The group got scared. They're all, can we leave now, please? Can we get out of here? So I started to walk up the stairs, and they're like, that way. So of course we had to go down and all the way, the long way out of the engine room. As we got to the floor, they're like, so did you set that up? I was like, no, I was just freaked out as you guys were. Honestly, I had never seen anything like it, and it was my first time, like I said, doing this tour right here. So it freaked me out enough that I just sat there and told everyone, well, from now on, if anyone asks you for a haunted encounter on board the Queen Mary, you guys all have your own nice personal story. You don't have to take any of the ones you heard from me. So now I always bring down people down here every time they ask me, where's the creepy spot on board the ship? Right here at door 13. If you guys get a chance to come back down tomorrow, the next time you're on board, walk through the door. Say hi to John. If he's in the area, if he's feeling playful, his answer will be a little physical, not auditory. He likes to leave oily fingerprints on your face, anywhere he can kind of just get one on you. So go ahead, come on through sometime next time you're on board, and please say hi to John. He gets pretty lonely down here, likes to bang on stuff every once in a while. So if you start hearing some random banging down here, say hi to John, go through the door. Who knows what will happen once you get to the other side. someone died having a stroke or something overnight, and that's kind of what. At least that's what has begun the paranormal stuff up there. No crazy murders, no suicides, no BS. I wish YouTubers would die in that room, then I'd be happy. But thank you for showing us.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed our extra long video. Hopefully you guys got a snack or something to watch the video or something like that. I try not to make it so scary, and like I try to add fun music because I didn't want kids or anything like that to be scared. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our video. As always, please leave us a comment, like and subscribe. Let us know what kind of videos you want to see from us. We're like slowly running out of ideas of what to do. So if you guys could leave us a comment, that would be really cool. Yeah, I think just, remember to be kind to one another. Also, Junior, if you get this far, we love you. It was really fun getting to spend time with you, and bye.